Welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in. Today we're doing something super practical. We are opening up the ancient Charak Samhita to uncover a 2,000-year-old step-by-step masterclass on literally healing your gut. If you've ever felt sluggish, bloated, or just totally disconnected from your body's natural energy, the source material we're looking at today offers an amazing, purely kitchen-based way to hit that reset button.
Okay, check out this incredibly powerful insight. Roga sarvi, pi mande, agno. This ancient Sanskrit phrase basically says the root of almost every single disease is a weak digestive fire. They call this inner fire Agni. It's a massive shift in how we think about health, right? Instead of just chasing down isolated symptoms, this text argues that your absolute first line of defense is fixing your digestion. Get that internal fire roaring again, and, according to the source, more than half of your everyday ailments might just vanish on their own.
So here's our roadmap for today. We've got 1. Signs of weak digestion. 2. The wetwood principle. 3. How to make healing khichdi. 4. Making rice water and soups. 5. Foods that kill digestion. And 6. Ancient rules for eating. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. Signs of weak digestion. Recognizing the symptoms.
So how do you actually know if your inner fire is struggling? Well, the Charak Samhita points out some massive red flags. First off, zero appetite. If food is sitting right in front of you and you just don't want it, or if you stick your tongue out in the mirror and see this thick white coating, you are dealing with what Ayurveda calls ama. Basically, it's undigested food that's literally just sitting in your gut, putrefying and turning into a toxin. Other big warning signs? Gaurav, which is that awful feeling like you swallowed a heavy brick, feeling nauseous, and Tandra, that constant, unexplainable lethargy you feel throughout the day. Trust me, your body is giving you very clear warning signs.
Section 2. The wetwood principle. The fire metaphor.
Okay, so you've spotted the signs. Now what? The text uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor that makes everything click. Imagine your digestion is a dying campfire. If you throw heavy food onto a weak stomach, it's exactly like tossing wet, heavy logs onto dying embers. It's going to completely smother whatever tiny flame you have left. What you actually need is lagu ahar. These are light foods that act like dry grass. You toss some dry grass onto an ember and bam, it catches instantly, gently reigniting the fire. These light foods digest with almost zero effort and actively help burn away that toxic ama we were just talking about.
Section 3. How to make healing khichdi, the ultimate Ayurvedic recipe. All right, let's get into the kitchen. To make this ultimate dry grass meal, the text gives us a super specific step-by-step formula. Step 1. Mix 1 part moong dal with 3 parts old rice. Now, why old rice? Well, the text points out that new rice is packed with moisture and starch, making it super heavy. But rice that's been aged for at least a year, it's dried out, it's infinitely lighter and way easier for a struggling stomach to handle. Step 2. Add excess water. We are not making a fluffy pilaf here. It needs to be thin, wet, and incredibly mushy. Finally, step 3. Just season it simply with a little rock salt. And if your digestion isn't totally wrecked, you can stir in a half spoon of ghee at the very end, since ghee actively helps stoke that digestive fire. It's a precise combo that's exceptionally light but deeply nourishing.
Section 4. Making rice water and soups. Liquid nutrition.
Now, what about those days when your stomach is completely destroyed? When even that super light khichdi sounds like a heavy brick? The text gives us a liquid lifesaver called paya. Here is how you make it. Step 1. Drown 1 single cup of rice in 10 to 14 cups of water. Step 2. Boil it on low heat until the rice completely breaks down into mush. And step 3. Strain it. You actually don't eat the rice at all, you only drink that thin, nutrient-packed liquid that's left behind. This paya gives you instant energy, and it's an absolute game changer when you're bouncing back from a fever, vomiting, or anytime your stomach just flat out rejects solid food.
But hey, maybe rice gives you gas, or you just don't agree with it. No worries. The text has a perfect backup plan called yush. It's a super thin moong dal soup. Step 1. Mix 1 part moong dal with 8 to 10 parts water. Step 2. Toss in a tiny pinch of hing, that's asafoetida, plus some cumin and a little ginger. Step 3. Boil it all down until it's so thin you could literally sip it from a teacup. This stuff is brilliant because it actively flushes out bloating and excess kapha. It is literally a full meal in liquid form, engineered specifically to soothe a highly sensitive gut.
Beyond those liquids, the text highlight a couple of other miracle ingredients you really should know about. Laja, which is just plain puff rice, is considered the lightest food on the planet. Because it's been roasted by fire, all its heavy moisture is completely gone. It's practically weightless in your stomach but provides instant energy. And if you absolutely need vegetables, the strict rule here is only boiled or steamed bottle gourd, also known as lauki, or ridge gourd. No heavy spices, no oil, just a simple pinch of rock salt.
Section 5. Foods that kill digestion. The anti-ingredients.
Okay, we've covered what to eat, but honestly, knowing what to ban from your kitchen while you heal is just as critical. And this list, it might totally shock you. If your digestive fire is weak, eating a raw salad is a massive mistake. I know, right? But the text says it acts like pure poison because your body has to spend way too much energy to break it down. And cold water or food straight from the fridge, that is literally dumping ice water on your dying internal fire. Wheat and gluten, way too heavy. Same goes for heavy vegetables like potatoes, cabbage, eggplant, and okra, strictly forbidden. And dairy, especially things like paneer or fresh curd, is incredibly heavy and cold in nature. Every single thing on this list is pure wet wood.
Section 6. Ancient rules for eating, plating, and consumption.
All right, the source material makes it super clear that how you eat is just as medicinal as what you eat. Enter Charaka's golden rule for your stomach capacity. Bhojanam ardho dare. Basically, it means you should only ever fill your stomach up to 50% capacity with food. Then 25% goes to water or liquids, and that final 25% you literally have to leave it completely empty for air. Think about it like a blender. If you pack a blender 100% full to the absolute brim, the blades just get stuck, right? Your stomach needs that empty space for the internal air to circulate and actually break down the food. Pair that with fasting for about 4 to 5 hours between meals, and you are finally giving your body the space it desperately needs to process and heal. As we wrap up this explainer, consider this really profound concluding thought from the text. Yata Agni tata ayu, yata Agni tata balam. As is the fire, so is the life and strength. This ancient principle reminds us that simplicity really is the greatest medicine. Your overall vitality, your energy levels, your immunity, they all completely depend on keeping this internal fire burning bright and treating it with the respect it deserves. I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. If a 2,000-year-old text perfectly describes your lethargy, your bloating, and your exact symptoms today, isn't it time we started looking to our own kitchens for the cure? Next time your stomach feels heavy, skip the pharmacy, grab some old rice and mung dal, and take control of your own healing journey. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.